everyone, and welcome to Developer Student Challenge, Uskudar University. I'm so happy to share with you today. It's our first workshop doing Flutter. Wait a minute. No, it should work. Okay, great. So hello again, and welcome to the Developer Student Club, Uskudar University. I am Mohamed Elsaeed'in, the DSC leader at Uskudar University, and the same time, and the third year software engineering department. Today, I'm going to share with you the Flutter Workshop. First of all, we share with you the agenda from our social media account. Today, it's the introduction to Dart and Flutter. And before starting, I just want to share announcement with you. We should make it from Zoom, but unfortunately, we had a technical problem. So this event will be just as a presentation, and the next event, inshallah, it will be from Zoom, and so everyone can participate if it's possible. Okay, let's start. So first of all, I want just to remind you about Solution Challenge. Solution Challenge is the Google Developer Student Club's 2021 Solution Challenge. Mission is to solve one of the United Nations 17 sustainable development goals using Google technology. We if you want to check, we share info session about Solution Challenge. You can just check it from our DSC Uskudar University YouTube link. So feel free to go and watch the video later on. Also, I also want to share the workshop timeline with you. So this week we have Flutter Workshop. Next week also we will host a web workshop in English, and later on we will have also another workshop. We will feel happy to share with you these workshops. So I want just to ask first, what is Flutter? I hope someone of you hear about it before. Please let me know if you hear about it before. Does anyone here knows what is Flutter? So it seems there is no one knows, which is nice, and that you come in the right way. So shortly, before starting Flutter, I want to take one step back and ask you, what kind of mobile operating system do we have? Okay, you heard that bit. So what kind of operating system do we have? I think I have a problem with the connection. Hello? Okay. So far, you know that we have Apple and Android. Apple and Android, mostly they are the mobile operating systems that almost inside each and our device, either it's Apple or Android devices. But do you know them in software development? Or to be more specific, do you know them in mobile development? So let me just tell you, but I will ask the same question again. Do you know them really in Android and iOS and mobile development? If you don't know, so each one of them is an operating system that is installed inside your phone, and you can just run your application inside of it. So they are separated operating system. They are not looks like each other at all. So just to have more familiar with it, that's the why they made from. Maybe you have that question before. So mostly Android applications they made from Kotlin and Java, and iOS application it's made from Swift. They are a different programming language. They have a different syntax and different type. For example, like maybe Kotlin and Java, they are similar, somehow similar, but they are totally different from Swift. Maybe also there's some similarity, but it's less. And we call that its native language. So Kotlin or Java, it's native language for Android application, our Android mobile development. And Swift is the native language for iOS development. But to make an application inside Android, so you have to write the code by using Kotlin or Java. You start to implement it, you make the application, it's working well. But when you come to you want to make the same exact application in iOS, here is the different. You have to rewrite everything again, but in different language. It looks like you have two different languages, let's say English and Turkish. You have a documentation in English and you want to translate it to Turkish. So you are taking word by word and start to translate it between that documentation to another one, word by word, sentence by sentence, and you have to check the grammar, you have to check the meaning of the word, you have to check a lot of things. So mostly, like, the people need something easier. Like, just imagine that if you have something between them, if there is a way to connect them together. So you are writing your documentation in just one language, and it's automatically translated to both of the language without any problem. It's a big dream, I know. And to be sure, there is a lot of tries happened trying to connect the Android and iOS development together, and they call them cross-platform. So this is the most cross-platform programming language, or let's say platform as well, that React Native, Iconic, Charn. It's hard to say because I don't know. It's really hard to say. And also Flutter. So Flutter basically it's one of the cross-platform that it's running the same code base for both of the Android and iOS. So you are taking. So basically, if we just go back, so it's basically Flutter taking your code and just write it in Android and iOS. So it's kind of like translated to Java and Swift, but in different way. And also the other cross platforms, they are doing exactly the same, but they are different from each other. Each one of them is made from something. So far, Flutter is you are making the same application. So let's imagine one of this application. It's just working in both of the platform with the same base code. So we are not changing anything. It's the same, like it's the same language, the same grammar, the same syntax, everything the same. It's just running everywhere. So Flutter it has four main unique function, which is beautiful. So you building a beautiful application and fast speed for running the application, and also productive and open source. So in Flutter, you can build a beautiful application. You can just have anything that comes to your mind as a design, because in Flutter, it's you can control each single pixel in your screen by using Flutter frameworks, as well as the fast. Flutter is super fast. Flutter is working with um, I think Sikia, the name of it. I cannot get it right now. It's working with Sikia. Let me just get the name. Where is it? Yes, it's Flutter is working with Sika 2D graphic engine, which makes Flutter can work with over 60 frames per second. And that example that you can see in front of you, it's an graphic design made by Rev.app. they made it, and it's running exactly on Flutter as a video or as normal things. So next is the productive. Flutter is so it has a nice productive. By writing your code, you can just exactly test your code. What that means? That means you can develop while your app is running. It like in mobile, mostly in mobile or any development platform for web or for others. If you want to run your code, you have to write, then you have to press run, wait until it's compiled, then you can see the result. Even if you are making console application or something like this, it's also you have to rerun it every time if you want to if you add any line or any word. But in Flutter, there is something called hot reload. By hot reload, you can just change something and you just press save, and it's automatically changing in the UI without rebuilding the whole application. And this example in front of you, it's just also showing you the hot reload, and also we will use it a lot during our workshop. So what about the open? Flutter, it has Flutter is an open source, and also it has a so big community around, and everything is free and it's open source, as I said. And you can just go and search about a lot of open source project. There is a lot of people trying to help you for making error, if you made any errors or anything during your journey learning Flutter. So if we just go back again, Flutter is beautiful. In Flutter, you can make a beautiful application, fast application, productive application, and also it's open source, so you can have a lot of community and everything helping you to improve your product. So maybe you can have a question. So how Flutter is written? Like, is it a programming language or what exactly? Basically, Flutter, it's written by Dart. Dart is an also open source code. Not open source, sorry. It's also open source programming language, and it's made by Google. And it was before, it was just for backend web backend, and it's built. They made it as easy to learn and easy to use. And there is the three things that make Flutter unique. Flutter is a great it's a great for writing UI. And did I say Flutter? Okay, Dart, sorry. And the Dart team has spent a lot of couple of years working with Flutter team on making even easier to write great Flutter application. Dart is productive. The Dart virtual machine is powered by hot reload that I just told you about. That lets machine powers hot that lets machine that wait a minute. So Dart virtual machine powers hot reload that lets you make change in your code and instantly see the effect on your running application. So shortly, by using the power of Dart and assign it to Flutter as UI, to building your UI, that's exactly what we can say. Flutter is just come up to life using Dart to build an Android and iOS application. So again, Dart it's optimized for AI. It's a productive development and also fast on all the platform to use. And one more information about Dart. Dart is it's built on a C++ engine that make while it's combining the application, it just transferring your code into binary code, which means 0 and 1. So that means it's more faster than the other programming language or like cross-platform programming language while it's building. So again, what like is Dart is super easy? Yes, it's super easy. As you can see here from this, it's just an example from Hello World. So as you can see, Dart is so much familiar with C++, C, maybe JavaScript, but not JavaScript, maybe JavaScript and Java. It's because it's while they was making Dart, they try hard to make it inside the C family. Like there is a C family like C, C++, C Sharp, Java. Um, I'm not sure about Python. I think Python is one of the C family as well. So when it comes to complex code, looks very simple to read your code during your journey. And here we can have a smaller demo. There is a platform called Dartpad. Wait a minute, I want to go the website. Nope. Can't I go there? Yeah. Let me check. No, I want to share the Dartpad. Sharing window the tab. No. So here, this is an example. This is the Dartpad. Dartpad is just like an online Dart language running console. So you can just run your Dart code over here, and you can just press run, and directly you can see the result. And you can just like change the code and do whatever. Also, you can just have some examples. Even you can just run a whole Flutter application, but I don't think that much big. But you can even write Flutter application, but it will take a little time to run because it's not just a base code. It's also an UI. I think my laptop will not be able to run it. Don't let me die. Yeah, it's here. So, but still loading because of the internet speed. I think my internet speed. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to the presentation. It worked when I left it. I'm sorry, I cannot see the chat screen because it's hard to see the slide and the chat screen at the same time. So, so again, Flutter, it's made to make a mobile application, but I don't think that's enough for to being a Flutter or being a cross-platform. And Google want to have a bigger step using Flutter. And as far as you can may imagine, like okay, cross-platform, Android, iOS. Maybe if there is another operating system, for example, Huawei right now or Hawaii, whatever you can say the name, they are making their own their own operating system. So does Dart may support it? I think so because as I said before, Dart is Flutter by using Dart is just transferring your code to binary code, which means it's machine code, so it can be understood easily. But Flutter team want to make it high level and take a bigger step, and they just make for web, but it's still beta right now. But Flutter, you can run your Flutter application on web as well as desktop. So just if we just take a step back and think about it, your code that's written in Dart, by using Flutter as a cross-platform, you can run your code in web, mobile, and desktop. I mean by mobile, iOS and Android, and web is any browser that you have. And desktop, I mean by Windows application, Linux application, even macOS application. So today, Flutter is LinkedIn data. Flutter has like in LinkedIn, Data says Flutter is the first growing skill among software engines, and used by brands around the world for application while handling of hundreds of million of users. And also Flutter is one of the top 15 GitHub response in the interworld. And you can have more information from flutter.dev/showcase. So during your journey learning Flutter, there will be a word that will be stuck with you all your journey, which called widget. So what exactly widget means? Widget, if I want to say simplify widget, it's like puzzles. Maybe I can say it's the skeleton of the UI, or I can say widgets. They are the brackets that use to build your beautiful UI. So I mean that a widget also it has like its own tree. So each widget it has its own parent and its own child. So by building that tree, you are building your user interface layout one in the top of one, so you can control them and you can see them clearly by seeing your widget tree. And to be more clear, this is an example of the widget tree that we have here. So let me just have this. So here we have this is the code that's written in Dart using Flutter, or like they are same. So here in simply, I'm just saying you have here the center as a widget. This is the parent or the bigger parent. Then inside of it, there is a children called column. Inside that column, it has a children that's called a text and icon. So as you can see here, there's center child is column, children is text and icon, and the output of it, just like hello world, this is that one, and icon is the star one. So this is basically what is widget tree is. You're just building your widget, and you're just each widget it has its own child, or sometimes or some of the widget it has children inside of it. So you're just building your layout in that way. And there's so much widget around, and you can see here from Flutter documentation, flutter.dev/doc/development/UI/widget/layout. You can just get it from the link downside here. There is a lot of widget around, like alignment, baseline, container, constraints box, and center widget. And there is more and more and more widget around, and there is more like it's more. There is widget for each things. You want to have some padding around your let's say your cart or your box. There is padding widget. You want to make it center. There is a center widget. You want to make it you want to align it somewhere. So there is alignment widget. You want to have a list. There is a list view widget. So there is a widget for everything that you may imagine. To be more specific, you can visit Flutter channel on YouTube. They are making some Flutter tutorials about the widget and about some also other Flutter knowledge you can search. And one of the things that I really recommend you to watch, which is Flutter Widget of Week, and it's really much helpful. They are just explaining the widget, one of the widgets, just in a few, like maximum it goes 2 minutes, just explaining the widget in nice way and video in the video. As well as you can also visit the Flutter documentation from that link, and you can just read the documentation from that website. And it's not just a documentation that you read, there is also some examples. They're also showing you video about it. Just feel free to go there and just look around. So basically, widget is everything, and everything is widget. Like widgets is exactly everywhere inside Flutter, and you can do everything that you may imagine using the widgets in Flutter. So go back to our agenda. Today, this is the info of Dart on Flutter. Next, after 2 days, we will have the simple UI making a simple UI using Flutter. And after that, we have complex UI using Flutter, which I will announce more information about it in the next event. So from now until that time, be ready by downloading the Android Studio or Visual Studio Code. Also make sure that you install Get in your computer, and also install Flutter from Flutter SDK. And you also just run the Android Studio or Visual Studio and install the Flutter plugs on site. And there is two video in the downside, one for Windows and one for macOS, just to helping you to have more information and how to install it. And she's just going with you step by step. And so far, sorry. Sorry. So far, if you have some information about Flutter, you can just go and start by looking at the write your first Flutter application, or you can, after that you can just go for write your first Flutter application, second part. Or if you have some more information, you can just go for one of these as code labs. And for the next event, we will explain. We will do that workshop with you, and we will explain more about the widget and the famous widget that there are around, and how to implement them. And we will show you the code labs using these two code labs, and showing you more others things. So here we come to the end of our presentation. Happy coding for all of you, and I'm waiting for your questions. Do you have any questions so far? I'm learning Flutter, but not just. Like sorry, I didn't say that chat from begin. Let me see. Okay, thank you, Fatih. And yes, Hossam, I'm saying you can run like Android or like you can run your Flutter code inside. You can run your Flutter code in Android or Apple device. For Android, you just need your any operating system, but for iOS, you need a Mac device to be able to run your code over there. But you can write it for any of them, both of the platforms. To learn Flutter, do I have to learn backend? No, Flutter, the Dart language, it has its own component, so you don't have to learn any other language with it. Like, it's the main language. You don't have to learn any other language. Just Dart is enough to do the work. It's just enough to make anything, even for web. If you want to make a website using Flutter, just Dart is enough. Just to know Dart is enough. And as I show you, Dart is so simple. And you can just, if you have any background coding information, like you learn C or C++ or any other programming language, Dart will be so easy to learn. And you don't even have to just go and learn Dart. You can just go to Flutter, and during your Flutter progress, you will get more information about Dart. So any other question? By the way, I really wish today we could make the workshop, but unfortunately, as I said in the beginning of the show, there is a technical problem. So in Zoom, so we cannot just share the code, the workshop with you as a coding part. No, Timur. Sorry if I said your name wrong. You don't have to learn. If you want to start with Flutter, you don't have to learn any other programming language. Just go and learn Dart programming language, then start with Flutter. And if you have already some knowledge in programming language before, So you can just start with Flutter. Look at the code, the code labs that I shared with you in the previous slides. Let me just show it again. You can just go to this one of these two, and you can just start to see at the how Flutter is built. I mean how the application is built, and you will get more information like how is Dart. So you don't need any other programming language. Flutter, it has its own like CSS is kind of like included in Flutter. You are designing your UI using Flutter. You are designing the backend using the Flutter. I mean like Dart language. Any other question? Please, if you have a question, share it with me. And even for Tomir, if you know any programming language, please share with me. So I will just show you how Dart is similar to that program. Okay, thank you, Omar. Okay, if you didn't have any other questions so far, so I want to say thank you so much for joining the stream, and I will share the form with you so you can just you can just write your name and your email over there so we can share with you the next event and also the slides and any information. So let me just bring the form. And where is it? Guys, I cannot see the chat, so if there is anything, please let me know. Okay, here we go. Link and short link. Copy. Okay. So, wait a minute. I will share it here. Add a banner. Great. So here's the link. It should show up right now. Yes, please click that link. I will just send it in the chat here. Wait a minute. What is this? No need for this one. Okay, just okay. I shared it in the chat. So please sign up for the forum and see you in the next event. And thank you all for coming over here. And just a last reminder for you, please, if check our info session, Solution Challenge info session, and feel free to join the Solution Challenge. this year we are looking for all of you to be part of the Solution Challenge, and I'm looking also to have all of to be at least one of you will be one of the top 10 winners in that challenge. So please feel free to go there and watch the video. And thank you so much. See you next event. Bye bye.